A boy woke up in a dark room. He was all alone and didn't know where he was. He tried to stand up, but as soon as he did, he lost his balance and fell back down. The room was filled with thousands of bookshelves that stretched as far as he could see, and in the center of it all, there was a single wooden table with a flickering candle on top. The boy got closer to the table and noticed that each bookshelf had a different name on it, and then he saw one that read, "The Boy Who Never Escaped." As he turned the corner, he realized there were hundreds of these bookshelves, all with the same name on them. He walked between the rows of books trying to find an exit, but there didn't seem to be one. He looked on the other side, but it was just more books. He checked behind the table, hoping to find a door, but there was nothing there. And as he turned back around, he noticed something strange. Every single book had his name written on the cover. It wasn't just the bookshelf. He picked one of the books up and opened it. The pages were blank except for the first one, and what he read sent shivers down his spine. It said, "A boy who never escaped found himself trapped inside a vast library. He had no idea how he got there or why, but he desperately searched for a way out. He ran his hands along the spines of the books, each one a different title, each one a different story. But as he looked closer, he realized that every book had his name written on the cover in elegant cursive. It seemed like a cruel joke, a mocking reminder of his captivity. Hopeless and alone, he sank to the floor, defeated by the silence and the darkness. He closed his eyes, willing himself to wake up from this nightmare, only to be met with the cold, hard truth that this was his reality now, trapped forever in a library of his own past, present, and future. He read exactly what was happening to him right now, word for word. He slammed the book shut and looked around frantically for another exit, but there wasn't any. He was trapped. The boy sat down on the floor, hugging his knees to his chest. He thought about calling out for help, but who would come to save him? His parents, maybe they would, but only if he told them where he was, which he didn't know. And even if they did, how would they open the bookshelf that led to this place? Maybe there was a key, but where could that be? As he looked around the room again, he noticed something he hadn't seen before. There were numbers written above each bookshelf. They were faded and barely visible, but he could make out the first few. It started at 1 and went all the way up to 999. The boy stood up and walked over to the bookshelf that read Number 1. He pushed it open, but it wasn't another exit. It was just more books, the same ones he'd seen before. He tried the next one, Number 2, and then Number 3. The same thing. It was like a never-ending maze. He walked past the bookshelf that had his name on it and continued until he reached the end of the row. There was no door here either. Frustrated, he turned around and walked back to the first bookshelf. He needed a plan, something to help him escape this place. He couldn't just keep walking into the same books and expecting a different result. As he looked around, he noticed something else. Each time he walked past a bookshelf, the books shifted slightly, the titles changed. It was subtle, but he could feel it. The boy decided to try something. He walked to the bookshelf that read, The Boy Who Never Escaped, and pushed it open. He took a deep breath and stepped inside. The moment he did, the bookshelf slammed shut and the room went dark. He panicked, thinking he'd made a mistake, but then he heard a voice. "Welcome to the library," it said. "I am the keeper of stories, and you, my dear boy, are the main character in one of my many tales. You have become trapped in your own story, and only by reading your fate can you hope to change it." The boy was scared, but he knew he had to do something. He called out, "How do I escape?" The voice replied, "You must flip through the pages of your life and find the ending you desire. But be careful, for every choice you make will lead you to a different outcome. Will you choose love or hate? Happiness or despair? The power is in your hands, young protagonist." The boy took a deep breath and walked into the darkness, determined to find his way out. He had to escape this place and never look back. Or did he? As he flipped through the last book he was reading, he came across the final page. It read, "He never escaped."